Well, hey, how's it going? You might remember, some of you that are new to the channel might not, that I have a 1995 Chevrolet Impala SS. It's right here. And it's kind of the pride of the channel. It's what the channel's based off of. I get it. The B-Body is an awesome car. Took a poll the other day. Listening to you subscribers, overwhelmingly, you guys responded to you want to see more of the Impala, aka the purple car, on the channel. 88% of you. Here's the graph. 6% of you want to see Bert, my 1974 GMC Suburban with a 454 big block. I kind of want to see that one too. I haven't monkeyed with him in a couple of years. 6% of you want to see the Trailblazer. Why? I don't know. 0.0% want to see Angus and bits and pieces. So, with that being said, we're going to dive today's video into the Impala.
Doesn't too bit, dude. Blah, blah, blah.
Now, some of you might remember last year, according to this green sticker, we did Hotrod Powertour 2022 in the purple car, Impala. I'm going to call it purple car. Purple car. That's what my kids called it when they were younger. Anyways, as it so might happen to be, my friends are gaining interest with said Hotbod Powertour, and I kind of offered up an invite. So here you go. They ain't going to work too well in a two-seater square body pickup. No. So we need something with a little bit more spaces. So today's video is going to be my start to Hot Rod Powertour 2023 long hauler in a 1995 Chevrolet Impala. Let's get into it. This coffee's hot. Trying out this new little audio thing right here, and Bluetooth to my phone, so you guys can pick me up a lot easier, and seems to have a lot more scratching to it. I don't know if I like it or not. Maybe it's just the beard. So for everyone that's new to the channel, let's take a quick walk around the Impala, and I'll give you the down and dirty of it, what we got working on it. We're going to start right now with the interior hours. So we got a little bit of wear. Handle's starting to get the collapsing on it. Not terrible, but yeah. Seat's got the hole right there. Typical. Wear on the back of the seat there, but no cracks in the dash. I like to take pride in that and make sure that stays up to par. She does have, let's show you, how many mileages do you got on you? How many mileage you got on you now? Wow, you got the gauge. That's stupid because we got to fix that. 118,055. So 200, not 1, 2. That's a 2. We got 218,055 miles. And she's a driver. I don't trailer. Well, I shouldn't say I don't trailer it, because I do when I gotta put it somewhere, multiple of you. Anyways, I drive it a lot. I drive the piss out of it. All in all, stock interior. Got the 95 cup holders because I like cup holders, because I drink a lot of coffee and stuff when I'm driving. You know, the waters are good. So I like my cup holders. I know you 96 guys have a... Are you flashing again? Oh. So we got the cup holders that work good. I got a shifter up here. I know you guys got the shifter down there and the cool Impala logo. I have cup holders. Anyways, you also got the cool gauges right there. But, you know, it's the same car. It's the same car. Don't try to tell me any different. So, some upgrades we did done in the interior. As you can see, that's pretty bright. My lights down right there. They're pretty bright. Over there, they're pretty bright. And I did an LED upgrade on the interior, which, my goodness, if you have not done that, go back and look at that LED video. I'll drop a link in the description. Check it out because it is well worth it when you are, A, they don't get hot. B, the amount of light that they put off when you're just opening the door at night when it's pitch black. Oh, it's so worth it. So worth it. Cheap upgrade. Do it. Anyway, what else did we do to the interior of this thing? Well, I did a double din. Got rid of my stock, you know, thing where the... Where did it go? Where is it? Right here. You know, I got this little cassette tape for a 95 Chevrolet Impala SS. And I had a cassette player and it went boop, boop, and it's telling me all about my 1995 Chevrolet Impala SS. I got rid of it. Not really, it's up in the rafters, but I put this in. Older, it's a 2007 Pioneer double din, whatever. I gotta clean it up because it doesn't look too happy right there. But it's got GPS on it. GPS. So I got a little map. That's the whole reason I wanted it. I don't have blue teeth on it because I just plug my auxiliary cord in it and that's how we listen to, you know, some tunes. But everything else works on it just as intended. Done did nothing in here. I still got the Bill. Oh, that's sticky. I gotta clean that. Bill Seif Chevrolet out of Wayland, Michigan. I think that's where they're from, but that's sticky. It's gross. Ugh. Let's go put that some... Where did it go? Oh. Anyway, that was the dealer where the guy I bought it from bought the car originally. I am second owner. Just throw it. Why don't you? Non-smoker. So you can see because this thing has absolutely no wear smoke on it. Still works, but I just keep it in there for safe keeps. Hey, look, I got another cup holder if I want another cup holder. So that makes 3. That's not a very good one, though, so we don't pay attention to that. Yeah, over here, I got some earplugs. Why, I don't know. But nothing. And let's see, nothing over there. Nothing, yeah, nothing. Back seats, all stock. Car cover, normal wear. I do got some 6x9s in there. I did change out the door speakers. Rear, front windows. I had the shark fin where it goes down and it falls forward, and then you roll it up and it's silly. So I made a couple videos on how to repair the front doors for the shark fin and the rear windows for the shark fin. So here's a link in the description. Go check that out. And you can repair your shark fin. What else did we do to us? I don't know. Cleaned it. Oh, I got some aftermarket floor mats. Those came from Street Trends. Unfortunately, Street Trends is out of business, but I got those from Street Trends. 2012, yeah. It's right when Street Trends was starting to go kind of under, but I went and I bought a bunch of stuff from them. So, unfortunately, they're rare. Can't get them anymore. Of course, some goodies I got under the hood. We'll get into there here in a minute. But, you know, Street Trends. You guys remember them. They had 2 S's, and they're out of California. So, as we pop the rear, yes, I still got the factory key fob. Plural, 2 of them. What do we got? I did LED upgrades on here. My freaking goodness, this stupid weather stripping. If you got leaks in your trunk, that's why. I did a video fixing that, but looks like we're gonna have to readjust. Anyways, did LED upgrades. I'd like to get another light for that side, but yeah, I made these kick panels to cover up stuff because when you got stuff in here on both sides and you're going fast and you want to power slide it, boom, stuff goes flying. and when it goes flying, you hit, and then you get dents in your quarter panels. So these kick panels kind of allow you to not do that. I did those cheap and inexpensive. Had some carpet laying around. As you can see, it doesn't match, but it's close enough. It's close enough for what I got going on here. Throw a fire extinguisher in there because why not? And I still got the factory netting back here for groceries if I decide to do groceries, which is cool because you just stack them all right in here, and then you take this here net and you kind of go like this, and then like, I don't know, there's a bungee right there, and you put it right like that. Yeah, you get the idea, and it keeps your stuff from sliding all around. But that's the grocery thing. We got another one right here. So that's the trunk. License plate, I painted that. Cool, great, grand. No one cares. Did LED taillight upgrade. They are bright. Highly recommended. Check out my LED videos. Did a locking fuel cap, and I'll get into that here right now. I don't remember what video I did last year, but when I was prepping this thing for Powertour last year, I don't know, it comes up every year about thievery, people stealing cars, blah, 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 theft. So, what did I do? You're not going to stop theft, you just deter it. So what I did is I put a locking gas cap on, because fuel prices last year were insanely ridiculous. So I got a locking fuel cap. It's one of my things that I did. We'll get into that whole thing again here, maybe next video. I don't know. Sure. Back to the Impala. So as we go back to the outside, I got the factory 17-inch. Don't have BFGs on there because I don't. I got Nittles. But they are the factory size 255, 50, 17 front and back. The black paint, she wore off. I have the Impala badges. They used to be red, but then they wore off, and I kind of just liked it like that, so I kept them. And something different. Those came from Street Trends too. Maybe we'll paint on those, get those cleaned up. Front rims are all, as I mentioned, stock. I do have LED headlights, and I have these that I bought off eBay, and these corners. I like the brightness of the light. I'm kind of torn on if I like the look of it or not. I guess I do, but I don't. You can see one of my LED bulbs in there. I still got the factory. Oh, those are burnt ones. You can see them back here. I got the factory housings. They're the guides. They're the plastic ones. They're not the European metal, or not metal, glass ones. But trying to do something a little different that's not stock that everyone's got, and it's something a little. But that's what I did. So I did those. It's growing on me. So yeah, I do apologize for my space heaters. It's kind of chilly in here this morning, but anyways, the grill. I went ahead and I painted the insert. You can see it's busted right there, missing part of the honeycomb, but painted it silver. I do this on all of my Impalas that I've ever had. Some kind of a silver accent, because the only other Impala I've ever had was a 96, and it was dark cherry metallic, and I used Marblehead gray metallic, and it looked awesome. So I just said, hey, I got some silver laying around, so I went silver, something different. Chrome bow tie. I didn't do a molding delete. I still got my body side moldings, and yeah, stock. Look. So now you're asking, well, what'd you do under the hood? Let me show you. We done did some stuff. Not a lot, and I'm sorry it's dirty, but yeah. Let's start with here. I put a new hood liner in it because I didn't have one. I don't know where it went, but I got a new hood liner last year, and it's already rubbing right there because it's got a cold air intake on it, so it rubbed. That's all right. Did an LED light. Bought that cover from eBay because mine was gone. But I put an LED in it. What else did we do? Let's go down to the actual engine. I got a Motion Raceworks battery. Nope. It's a Walmart battery. I just got a Motion sticker, so I just threw it on there when I bought some stuff from there. Yeah. You don't have the triangle box home plate. It's whatever, rectangle. I don't have home plate. I deleted on home plate. Yep. Home plate's gone. So is first base. First base is gone. So cold air intake. Did the K&N. Cone. Mass airflow. This is a stock LT1 internals, meaning rockers, valve springs, push rods, pistons, crank, all that is stock. And it's got 218,000 miles. It's stock. Internals. Externally, full hooker headers, export pipe, hooker exhaust, dual all the way out the back, aerial chamber mufflers. I get asked on all the time. Straight trends. Can't get them anymore. Ceramic coated ones. Did a tune-up here recently. I put the Bosch Icon I platinum things, plugs in it. New wires. OptiSpark. Done in the last 3 years. Water pumps done in the last 3 years. What else did we do? Oh yeah. Got a new radiator. Aluminum. Cold case. Cold case. That thing is a pain in the butt to put in. We had to massage some stuff. It's in there. It's in there. It's okay. Go watch that video. I did a whole video on it. But if you're looking for a quick down and dirty radiator to put back in, don't get a cold case with when you gotta do work to it, because I had to modify stuff. Okay, go watch that video. So we got a cold case radiator in here. Factory air conditioning. Need that where we're going on Powertour. Yep. What else did I do? Oh yeah, you guys are probably asking about the covers there. Normally you see a Corvette, blah blah blah. No, okay, my 95 had Corvette. No, it didn't. My 96 had Corvette. This is the 95. And I wanted something different. So Street Trends had these billet custom covers. It's just, it's something different. It's old school, it's modern. I got into a great discussion last year at Powertour with a guy who LS swapped a Mazda Miata. He was very appreciative of the LT1, and I never thought about it, but this was a precursor to the LS engine, because you went from, before this you had the TBI throttle body setup and the weird. This paved the way to the LS, because you got a lot of features on here that are on an LS that's in there. Cold the intake, the mass airflow sensor setup style, throttle body. There's a lot of things GM took from this engine, not the OptiSpark, thank God, and put on there. If you guys don't know about LT1, some unique features on it. It's got reverse flow cooling on it, so as it flows, it doesn't go the normal way like this. Boop. Or no, like this. It doesn't go like this. It goes backwards. It flows through the upper hose down through the bottom. Yeah, it flows to the heads different. And the theory behind that was some scientists figured out that heads flowing backwards, heat's different. I guess. Read up on it. I tried to and I couldn't follow it. So that's all that I've really done to the engine. Except for PCM. I sent that off to Brian Herder. You might have heard of him if you're an Impala geek. And he tuned my PCM. PCMforless.com. It was relatively inexpensive. So, got that done. Shift points are firmed up in the 4L60E, which is stock. So it's got a little bit of a to it when it shifts. It's great. But other than that, it's all She's stock. Now at the back, I did do a Detroit Locker 383 rear end because the posi was blown out. So I upgraded the rear end to a posi. Because I always heard that if you're going to build a car, you want to start with the rear end, make sure that's bulletproof. Then you start on the transmission, make sure that's bulletproof. And then you put a big motor behind it or do combo. And that's how you build stuff. Because if you do it backwards, you're going to break stuff as you go along. I've only gotten to this point. So, solid 383 gears in the back. I didn't put the ring gear in it, so when I do drive it, my ABS light kicks on because it's thinking that the front's different from the rear and these or whatever. I don't care. You see, I don't care. So, that's done. So one might be asking, well, you took it on Powertour last year. What else could you possibly do to it to get it ready for this year? Well, glad you asked, because I got stuff that needs to be done. Not so much stuff that mechanically or anything. I give it an oil change and then we go. No problem. But it's more like things I've been wanting to fix for a while that we're just gonna fix because they're a nuisance. They're fly in my ointment. Needle in my side? Something like that. I don't know. Starts back. So if one was back here, I just popped this trunkulator. Trunk. Gross. What is all that? Oh, I know what that's from. Spray that. There's loud. Listen. They're not so loud as of right now, but they were pretty darn loud here a second ago. When it sits in the rest position down, springs are actually, I guess they have energy stored in them. And when you go to first open them up, they're like, super duper 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 loud. So I want to get that fixed on it, okay? Because it bugs me. It's been like that for 10 years, but it's bugging me. Longer than that. As long as I've owned the car. 12 years, something like that. Next thing I want to do is when you saw that I started this, the dash was like, yeah! The numbers were silly. Common issue with these 96. I had the odometer flash. That wasn't good. It's a very simple fix. You just pull the dash apart, pop the cluster off. There's a couple little resistors that the soldering just needs to be resoldered or cleaned up. Broken wire. I don't know. I haven't gotten to this, but I'm guessing with it doing what it's doing, it's probably a resistor issue with that solder because it's cold. That's the only time I get it. It warms up, it goes away, but it's becoming more and more frequent, and it's just going to keep getting worse until I fix it. So we're going to do that. Also, you 96 guys know that I ain't got a tachometer because I just got the oil pieces, I got a fuel pieces, I got a hot pieces, and I got a battery pieces, and then we got the digitals in there. I don't have the speedo and then the to-do tack go whoom whoom, right? Well, once upon a time on my 96, you guys don't have an oil pressure gauge. If I remember right, you have an oil light. Correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say it was that. So what I ended up doing on my 96 after I blew the motor up, I'll get into that story someday. I made the pod thing because it was really cool. Autometer came out with it, and I morphed that pod in there. And I didn't like the way it looked when it was just like the drill holes and clip them in with a push pin. So I actually body filter, painted it, made it look like it was factory. But I had an oil pressure gauge, a mechanical one in here, and that was awesome. So we had that. But that was a lot of work, and I don't know if I want to have that because I got the gauge, and I like the gauge. It's a dummy gauge, but it works. So what are you saying here? Well, the gauge, you can get a 9C1 gauge sensor thing and put it on the LT1 and make it so it actually moves when you do this. But that's too much work. I don't care if it's just have it or not. I'm just going to leave it like that. But what I would like to have is a tack. So what I am thinking is to put in a tack here or here. Another long story, when I had my 96 Impala, I had airbags on it, and that's where I put my air gauges to go psst, 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 psst. I just had two, so it was front and back. But I had my valves in here. So anyways, we put the gauges in there. I'd like to have a, I don't know, a 2-inch tack, some kind of a tack right there. And since it's dual, I don't know, maybe this gets in the way because I didn't have this when I had the 96, so I don't know, maybe I'll do another one. Maybe air fuel mixture ratio and tack air fuel. But I want to do the digital style of those because, of course, everyone's going analog, and it's digital, except for the needles. But it's digital, so why not have digital style, meters in here? So I want to put those in. Haven't ordered them yet, so we're not doing that today. Other thing we got is, you noticed that LED was flickering. It has like a weird little, come on. Oh, now it finally all went out. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's got a whole, that's only like one row, and it's got like 4 rows. The other 4 rows are out, so I got to change that out. But other stuff I want to get done before we change that LED out. Under the hood, we got some cleanup to do. I know it doesn't look very, I'm not talking about grease and grime, because yes, it has grease and grime. We got other cleanup stuff we got to do. Do you remember a second ago when I was like wiping the back of the trunk and I was like, ew, what's, oh yeah, it clicked with me. I remembered what it was. That PCV, the valve right here for the breather for the engine to go, because it's an air pump. You got to breathe the engines. Well, that thing I just put on there because the old school one that you used to have when it was all like K&N and everything, when they had their kit, was to do this. You ran a hose from there underneath here because you had the stock one that went into the intake, which gums it all up and screws up your idler air control valve. Go watch my video on that. And then it ran a hose down through here, and you put the little breather in this little hole right here. See, my finger goes through. That's where it was supposed to go. The problem being is when you do that, it drips the oil. Boo. When you got like lots of it splashing and whatever, or it sucks it up in your filter. It makes it gross and grimy, and I didn't like that. So I was lazy, shocking. And on my 96, I just had the K&N little filter there. So what did I do? I just put the little K&N filter right there. Well, last year it was very gross and grimy, so I upgraded to that one from AutoZone, which is like a cheap little tiny cone filter. Well, problem being is driving in the South under hot conditions was a first for this car last year. A first for me after I've done all the upgrades and the more temps and whatever. So what had happened is that was having oil accumulate on the filter, and then it was finally dripping down on the valve covers, dripping down onto the header, so I had a constant smell of burning, which wasn't good. Also, it was dripping down under the car and then splashing the backside of the car, coming up, covering the whole backside of the car as we were driving. Normal Michigan conditions, whatever, this car was fine, but we saw some extreme heats last year for Powertour. Didn't overheat, we just got hot, and she wasn't happy. So what I'm getting at is I gotta put an oil catch can. I gotta catch can oil it, yeah, because it gets hot enough where we need that. So what you might be thinking is, oh, okay, Google one, Amazon one, find the cheapest one, put it on, great, grand, awesome. Nope, I did that, and I got this big honking massive one, which is not really what I want, because it's huge. It's giant. It's giant. Okay, you put it up here, but no, it's giant. I don't like this one. I gotta order a smaller one, half the size of that, maybe even round, because everything else is round under here. So we gotta put an oil catch can on there, and then we gotta find a place to mount it out of the way, which is gonna, I don't know, where do you put it? Do you put it up on the firewall? Do you put it over there? I don't know. I don't know. I don't have it. So, but that's one of my problems. Being a soft cup. Anyways, so now that we've gone ahead and wasted time procrastinating, explaining the car because we really didn't feel like working on anything, let's procrastinate some more. Let's make a list, because I make lists and I write them on the windshield. So, what we gotta do to this thing? Are you listening? Well, we got the L, E, and D inside. We gotta fix that because it was half working. We gotta fix the flashing odometer. Flashing weak odometer. Something like that. What else do we gotta do? Oil catch can, thank you. Oil catch can. What else? Oh yeah, trunk squeak. Trunk squeak. What else? What else do we do? Oh, something I didn't talk about. Why? Because I just thought of it now. Last year on Powertour, we had trunk, that guy all loaded up, and when the car was driving, it was. So, we gotta put shocks on it. Shocks. Got a surprise for that. Stay tuned. So I'm not gonna spoil the shock thing yet. We're not gonna get to it today's video, but it's on there. It's on the list. It's on there. So what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I know. 2 years ago now? Yeah, 2 years ago. The dinner plate brakes that we put on this thing, they're drilled. Are they slotted? Yep, they're slotted too. One of them in the rear tends to go weep, 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 weep. So we gotta check that out. Now, I don't know. It doesn't do it all the time. I don't know what's causing it. Maybe it's the emergency brakes. I don't ever use it. Maybe it's that just caught up inside there. Well, we got it on the list. We'll take a look at it. I don't know. A couple videos. Maybe we'll make a couple part-hour video on this thing. Anyways, that's on the list. What else we gotta do? Well, we gotta get oil change. Oil change. Come on. What else do we gotta do? What else? Thinking, processing, processing, processing. Oh. We gotta fix the paint. Fix paint. What does that mean? Well, maybe we'll wet sand and buff the entire thing. Maybe we'll just do like what we did last year and give it a good polish, touch up rock chips. That's probably more realistic. We'll just buff. Maybe we'll just wet sand the hood down flat and then buff that to a nice shine flat polish. We'll see. But we'll get to that. What else I want to do? These wipers. That paint's peeling right there. So I would like to paint this and paint this plastic cowl piece. Paint, weepers, cowl. So what else? What else do you speak to me, car? Spec to me. Oh, we said we might want to paint them emblems. Touch up emblem. So, sure, that's how you spell it. Something like that. I'm sure the list will grow as time progresses. But let's get into what we can knock out in today's video. Welcome to a trunk of a 1995 Chevy Impala. Pro tip, if you're gonna do what I'm gonna do, make sure you got your key fob and you can make it work, because we're gonna close ourselves in the trunk. Something like this. And why I'm gonna do that for is because I'm gonna keep eyeballs on the squeakers with my lighter. Not lighter like, lighter like. And we're gonna see where these noises are coming from. My guess is the hinges. It's the only thing I can think of. So let's see. Well, there's our hinge. You can see it's boxed in. We got a little bar that comes across on both sides, the X pattern, and it just kind of moves when the trunk goes down. So let me show you. And that bar moves. And then also off of that, you got a hinge point up there that I don't know if you can see it or not. That pin that's up there, right there, and over here. Can you see it? I don't know. I can't see it. But that's where our noise is coming from. I thought it might have been this mechanism where it was rubbing in here or over on that, but it's not. It's actually coming from up there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to put some grease up on that, way up in there, and work it free. See if I can get it to stop squeaking, because passenger side's not doing it. It's just driver's side. So I'm going to go find some grease and I'll grease her up. So I'm going to highly suggest that if you got some penetrating oil or some WD-40, some kind of a lubricant you're going to be spraying in your trunk, make sure it doesn't have a odor to it. What I'm going to use is Croil. I know it's got a unique smell to it, because what's going to happen is the whole trunk's going to smell like it, and then the cab's going to smell like it. It'll eventually dissipate, but just keep that in mind when you're spraying chemicals like lubricants around closed areas. The real way to do this would be to pop that out, put a plastic bushing in it so it keeps it from squeaking. It's just like a Teflon coating stuff, or use like a Teflon graphite type spray. I don't have any, I don't think. I think I have white lithium grease, so I'm probably just going to put this Croil. I'm going to double check, but it's probably going to ultimately be Croil. Well, that's what I ended up deciding on. I found that on the shelf next to my anti-seize. I was going to use that, but I saw this. I'm like, yeah, that'll probably work. And I smelled it. Doesn't smell terrible. It's actually pretty decent. It has a little brush, and where I was able to get it into was all up into, as you can see, that hinge. I did this lower one too. I know that wasn't it, but it was starting to look like it was rusting, so I just put some grease on it for my own sanity. Mainly it was up there, and on this side, what I ended up doing is I pulled the, as you can hear, it's not squeaking anymore. I pulled it down, I lubed it all up in there, got it really good to go, and no more squeaks. So I'm pretty darn happy with that. It's been something that's been bothering me for years, and now it's fixed, and we can move on to the next thing. I think while I'm under here, I'm going to tidy up this wire. I don't know why it's dangling. It looks like the clip popped off, probably when I was doing the speakers and I never put it back on. So let me get that buttoned up, and we'll move on to the next thing, which is going to be third brake light. Because as I remembered, their brake light don't work. I'll fix that. Really quick before we move on to the brake light, you got the little things right there. You can adjust these bars, 1, 2, 3. You got them on both sides, but you can adjust that to predetermine how much your trunk springs up or not. If you got one that like flies up and you're like, oh, I don't like that, you can come in here and adjust it by moving those bars over. Or if you got one that doesn't pop up and you want it to pop up more, you just move it down or up or whatever. However it works out for you. Impala's got the spoiler on it, so it's got a little bit more weight, so they got it obviously all the way up over here. And this one's on middle, so we got another one. We could just move it on up, but remember those are preloaded. They do have a lot of tension on them, so just be cautious when you're doing that if you decide to adjust your trunk hood. But anyway, now moving on to the third brake light. I did install a LED when I did my LED taillights. Maybe that was our problem all along. And we got an LED in there. 1157 style. Of course, it does have the dual filaments. You can use 1157, 1156. But this one is just a single, so we only need one. But it ain't working. Maybe it's just a bulb. Maybe we got a short in the wire somewhere, because we did do a bunch of wiring when we did the fuel pump. So, I don't know. And that harness was laying down, so I don't know if maybe it is something silly with it. But let's check it out. Okay, you can see right there, there's the third brake light. I'm gonna go push the brakes. You guys tell me if that thing comes on. You'll be able to see because I got my LED lights that'll shine on the door here. Let's check it out. What'd it say? Said, well, apparently I'm an idiot and I just installed it wrong, so. Because it fell out the way. It's fixed now. Let's put it back together. Well, it's reinstalled, so let's just double check it lights up this area. Well, let's see. What'd it do? I don't know. You guys saw it before I did. Well, make progress. Let's, third brake light. Boop. So, we got check. What else do we do? Or brakes, not brake. What? That's not but, it's buff. What? Did we do anything else here? Oh, trunk squeak. We fixed that. What? Okay, we got two things done. Let's go after the other easy thing, is that LED inside. Okay. Well, top LED, new technology and top quality. You saw it flash. Those are the people I got the set of door LEDs from, not specific for this car. I'll leave the description in somewhere below. And what it comes with is it comes with a pack of 3 LEDs, 2 for the doors and then the 1 for up here. Well, what had happened was, I don't know if I mishandled it. I don't know what I did, but you can see it flickers. I don't like that because that's not right. Having any issues with the doors? Well, what one did I put in here? I put that style in there. It's the flat one, and only half the boards work. And maybe it heats up, and then the solder's doing its thing with like the dash here. But either way, that one's not proper. It comes with this style, and it comes with that style. You can use, they're kind of universal. I've used one in each door and they work. Because what I did is I popped the one off the driver's door and I tried it and it worked. So this, I think, does it have little, yeah, it's got little metal tabs. We can use this one. I found what works better is, of course, the flat blade one. So we're going to reinstall a flat blade one. Now remember, with all your LEDs is they're polarized. So make sure you work, because if you put it on backwards, it ain't going to work. And I'm not going to do that because I think that's what I did last. Oh, well, we got another one. Yeah. See, it don't work if it's backwards on polarity. But if you put it right way on polarity, it'll work. So, come on. Why is it so bright? Because it's an LED. So that fits in there nice. We got nice shining light. We'll just reinstall the round 95-96 lamp. Forward, earlier squared. Anyways, we'll put that, it's backwards. We'll put that on there. Come on. Well, just clip on there. Are you gonna clip on there already, or are you just gonna continue to, there, installed. So I haven't had any issues with it other than that one, and of course it's half working on this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this one for something where I don't mind it flashing, and I'm just going to write a little note or something on it. Put these in an inventory. Use it if need be. It's all the beard hair. Use them as needed. I gotta move on to the next thing. Well, at this point, I might as well just start ripping into the dash and fix the other LEDs that not LEDs, fix the other lights that are burned out. Changing them out with LEDs since we're working with LEDs. But let's add it to the list, and well, I can't cross off LEDs inside because now I'm gonna make more work for myself with LEDs inside. Dang it. So I'm gonna pull apart the dash now. What? Now, what? There. We got lights back. Focus. Lights are back there. Lights are back there. You can't tell, but my ones up here are burned out. It's kind of frustrating at night. So we're gonna just replace all of the lights with LED lights. And in order to do that, we have to rip the dash apart. I just love ripping this dash apart. Okay, time lapse. Go. Lower dash is all apart. about 15 minutes. I was hoping I can get the cluster out without actually pulling that lower dash off, but you know what? We got to get in the HVAC stuff anyway, so whatever. But so you guys saw I did all that, so this will just now come out. I will note that there is plenty of space between here and here for them gauges, because that's where your bezel is going to stay. So you got plenty of room in here to put digicals if you want to put them in there. Just saying. So simply just comes out somehow. Some twisting and some spinning and bending and some crunching, and hopefully this thing comes out. Here we go. All right, and then there you go. That's out, and that's out too. So let's get her out. Let's look at her. Let's look at her a little closer. Oh, there it is. So we do have there's just two little connectors. There's the one down there, and the one that's down there, there's no clips on it. You just pull them straight out, and they're seated. I always find it interesting. You have so many extra holes in these clusters. See what different lights they are, because those are your check engine lights when they come on. So it's kind of neat. Flip on a light and see what they are. Let's see. We got gate ajar. We got a hazard light, gate ajar. We got the parking brake light on, which I don't know why we don't have that. Door open. Huh. So you can hook that up. What else have we got? We got one over up there. What is that one? What does that one tell us? You ain't telling us anything. Okay. Well, you're just a blank hole. Yeah, it's always kind of neat just seeing what other kind of things are on when you hold them up to a light. So something to think about is switching up everything to LEDs when you're working on this kind of stuff, because the standard halogen bulbs, they produce a lot of heat and they get really hot. So I'm gonna upgrade the actual lights that are on all the time to LEDs. And what I mean by all the time is the ones that are green are going to be like the running lights. When you turn on your headlights, they illuminate the dash. These other ones, of course, are like your check engine light, check gauge light, all that. I'm going to leave those ones alone because they're not on all the time, minus the ABS, which I may delete on. But I'm just going to go ahead and change out the running lights to LED lights. That way it's not as hot on this cluster. It doesn't heat up that keyboard or the PC board back here as much. And we can eliminate some issues. Other thing I'm going to do is, while this is out, is I'm going to pull these covers off, blow it out with some compressed air. You can see right there, it looks like it's getting hot or something's leaking out. We'll check into that, see what is on there. We'll take this front glass piece off, clean it up, get all the dust and everything out of it, and we'll pull it back together. So not going to get too crazy, but they just twist out, and there's just a peanut bulb in there. I'm going to put those in my inventory. So I bet you guys are wondering, well, if you're changing out these LEDs, why are you hanging on to them? Well, as I mentioned, the halogens produce heat, and sometimes vehicles around here where you have these peanut bulbs for license plate lights or tail lights or something. And in the great state of Michigan, we get this thing called snow. It's a little white thing. And these bulbs, when they get hot, they actually help melt so you can see what's going on and whatnot. The LEDs don't do such a great job, even though they're brighter. Sometimes the halogens, the incandescent lights, they're better for some stuff. So, food for thought. Well, upon further doing, this one had this little tab pull. I'm like, why did that just all of a sudden come out? Well, look at it. You can see those little wire piece on there. Because top side looks like it was soldered, maybe. No, it's just on there. So, yeah. I was pulling the bulbs off, and they're kind of pulling off like, oh, okay. I'm like, well, whatever. Maybe they're hot. No. Come to find out, the way that these bulbs are in here is they're like Christmas lights. They're poked down like this, and then when they're down there, they wrap around that like a Christmas light socket. You put it in like this, and then you bend the prongs out. Well, it's kind of like that, just with those tabs and inserted. So these ones, the way that they're normally on there, like so, ain't gonna work because they're not gonna contact it because the power's off to the side. So what I got to do is I got to figure out how to make these contacts touch those contacts inside that. That's what I'm doing, and I gotta do it for all of them. Okay, well, that one's installed. That was fun, and I tested it out. I'm gonna do this one-handed. Come on. Okay. My tripod. Plus it on this side. We've got plusages. Oh my gosh, it's light. All that work for that. But what I ended up having to do is pull the socket apart. I have to pull these little tabs off of here. Then I have to thread this into there, and then I got to reinsert the tabs into the socket there. And then I got to make sure and wrap the wire around there using these. Got a lot of them to do yet. Hopefully the rest of them aren't like this. All right, just to show how hot these bulbers get, this is the cigarette lighter. You can see it's melting the plastic. It's so hot. It's turning it brown. I don't like that. So this is the one for the cigarette lighter. We're going to throw an LED in it right now. I did pull off the heater control covers. These were the lights that were in there. It had these little peanut style bulbs in them. They were burned out. I tested them. So I put my LEDs in them. Got this little kit off eBay that takes care of those. Of course, white ones are white, red are red, green, so on and so forth. So I've only used those ones. They were like $10, but they come with these little holders as well. Yeah. So also got all those taken care of to go back into the cluster. I did go through and mark them with a little line for positive on the wire. So I can go ahead and assume that the gray one is positive, black one is negative, and then it should be right, hopefully. Yeah. Cluster is going to be another story, but we'll get to that here in a minute. So I'm going to throw all this stuff back together. I'm going to clean up some stuff because I did get some gunk that's in there that I haven't cleaned in a while, along with that. And we'll see what we get to. So before I throw all that back together, I'm going to pull this glass plasticky cover off. You ever wonder what that 5.5 millimeter jobber is? Come on. It's for these screws. Yeah, that's what takes them off. So I'm going to pull that off, clean it up, throw it in, light it up. So there's what it looks like pulled apart. Of course, this pops off there. You have this guy that lays on there, pops up. After that, and the glass part comes off. I was going to get in here and try to solder like I did on my 96 because the odometer was acting the fool. But from what I was researching on, this one's a little bit difficult. You got to get in, I think, and do some other stuff. Definitely could tell there's been some heat in there from right there. And then over on this side, there's some heat going on. So that's probably what our culprit is. That thing's probably burnt up. So we're lucky that it's actually operating as is. So I'm not going to monkey with it because I don't want to take it apart. But usually the resistors that are on the bottom side of here where they get high, you can just take the solder and just solder the you can melt the solder back together on the board. But pretty neat, pretty cool to see everything and what it looks like. If you wanted to change from green to something else, now would be the time to do that. Simple as changing that out. I'm just gonna clean it up because I'm in here, get all the dust off. Okay, well, here we go, moment of truth. Look like they're all working. Nope, that one's not working. I don't know about that one's not very bright. Looks pretty cool though. Those aren't. So I'm gonna flip-flop those around, see if that's it, and then we'll play with this in a second. Okay, flip that one over, and I looked at that. That one was working, I think it was. That one wasn't. I had them both positive top and actually followed the circuit board pattern, and it was flipped, but there you go. She's all lit up now. Got these ones all lit up. They're bright. Got this one working. It's all good. I'm not changing that one out. That one's encapsulated in whatever. So I'm gonna go ahead, put those back, and then we'll see what it looks like. There's the final product. Pretty happy with that because that was totally dark. I can see what's going on when I'm driving at night. It's nice. It's nice. Well, I think we can safely say we ain't gonna fix that one. We got that done, those two. And what else do we do? Huh. Well, that's enough for today. So I hope you like this video. It's a good list on the Impala. Made progress, got that trunk squeak taken care of, LEDs upgraded in the dash, and what else did we do? Oh yeah, we figured out that we can't fix the flashing odometer thing. So stay tuned. I'm not going to put the dash back together yet. I have a tack on order. That'll be coming in one of the next installs. Got to give this thing, what, oil change, you got to do shocks, got to figure out the brakes, paint, touch up emblems. We got a lot of stuff to do. So thanks everyone for watching. If you haven't, please like, subscribe. Helps the channel grow, helps me kind of do these projects a lot more. It gives me the motivations to do them. And if you like what you're seeing, comment it down below. If you want to see something different, let me know too. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.